All right, welcome back to Stream of Consciousness. I am Joey, House of Lannister Stout, and this is Joel Sunscreen Cox.
I don't use sunscreen.
Not important. Irrelevant.
Okay.
This is like, whose line is it anyways? Nobody's listening to our show anyways.
We have a couple faithful listeners.
We do. I think I'm one of them.
Dan Huckenberry, Josh Hickson.
Wow, that's how great our show is, that we can literally name off all the people watching our show.
Yep.
We have a list of people. We've got 7 followers and only 5 views. I don't know how that worked itself out. But I need to lose some weight. I'm so glad we are not like filming the show anymore, because I have put on so much. I've put on too many handfuls of pounds around my belly, and I know this is. I look at whenever we're doing the videos, when we were watching, I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't look like that. Like my nose is not that big, my neck is not that fat, my belly's not that rotund. Like I've seen myself and I'm thinking like, I stand in front of the mirror, even in front of the mirror, and there's nobody even there. I suck in my gut trying to hold this in whenever I'm the only one in the bathroom. Like I'm in there by myself, looking in the mirror, trying to like buff things up, convincing myself that's really how I look. I've just forgotten that that's not the real me. Like I lie to myself about who I am, what I look like.
I remember when I texted you about switching over to not doing video anymore. You're like, good, we look fat anyway.
Well, you know what though? I believe, because I think it's a lot of, we're sitting in these chairs, we're a little more slumped. Maybe it's the camera angle or the lighting. Maybe it's partly that we're fat. But
I've gained some pounds.
Well, and we all have. That's normal. But we're not as big as I think we look on film. Like there's this weird thing, and I don't know if it's a camera angle. I get this strange like neck thing where it's not even a neck anymore. My chin and my chest have become married. They're now their own united. There's a bridge or something there. I've got this roll that goes from my bottom lip down to my chest hair. That's just kind of like the chin is completely eliminated, and I see it all the time in the video. And I'm like, I don't really look like that, right? Like it's not. It can't possibly. I've seen myself. There's pictures of me. I've seen pictures of me, and I'm like, I don't have it then. But for some reason, every time I watch one of our videos, I see that and I go, that's not. And I'm like, I'm trying to suck it in and trying to pull my neck up as I talk, as I'm watching myself on film. Like maybe that's gonna fix it.
Well, that's fine, because whenever I did a couple of the erratas for the podcast, I remember I did a
You did a who's a what now?
Errata.
I don't know what that means.
So.
Is that the dude who flew too close to the sun and his wings fell off?
I know you don't read a lot of books, but occasionally in books, like catalogs and stuff, if there's a mistake, the first page will have a list of errata or errors. That, hey, on this page this is wrong, on that page that is wrong. So
in like real books or in like textbooks?
Textbooks, catalogs, random stuff. Not usually like literature, but like random books.
Like an editor's note, like, sorry, we misquoted whoever.
Yeah, okay, stuff like that. So when I did, like, hey, we didn't have audio video for this episode, I did this. I filmed myself, and I noticed, Tara tells me all this time, my one eye looks drippier than the other one. Like, my eyes, I guess, apparently they're not open the same amount. So
I've never noticed that.
Yeah. I noticed it whenever on video. Okay. And occasionally I'll notice in a photo. Because a lot of my photos for a while, I looked like I was drunk or high.
You did one, there was a video that you did, one of our videos that you went on and said we had an audio problem or a video problem or something. So you did this one where you just recorded just yourself, and it looked like you look like a meth addict or something. Like the video comes on, and I was watching. I didn't know you did it until I saw the video. I started watching it. I turned it on, and then you come on, and you're like, and it must have been like 2 a.m. or something.
No, it was not.
No, was it like daytime?
I shot that multiple. That was the best shot. I shot that multiple times. Is the sad part.
I was like, because I've talked to you. I know what you look like in person. I've hung out with you too many times that I go, that's not what you look like. Like
video does strange things sometimes.
Yeah, it's like people who hear themselves.
But you know what else it is
on tape, and
so according to my one buddy read this article years ago, and the theory is when you remember stuff, you don't remember everything. You remember enough details to remember it, and then your brain fills in the gaps.
Yes.
So that's like when you go to play an old school video game and where the graphics are amazing. And then you see them like years later, like, this is crap. Why did I think this was good? Well, you remember we filled in the fuzzy logic.
Right.
And the same thing with images. Like when you remember someone's face, you don't remember every detail. You remember enough that your brain can fill in the rest.
You have that emotional memory
Yeah.
more than you
So I
have
think
actual
that's what
visual
happens
memory.
with like when you look at a photo, everything's there. So
Yeah.
there's nothing to fill the blank in.
It's just that snapshot of your life where you got one droopy eye,
Yeah.
a fat stomach, and no chin.
But yeah, I do the same thing. Like I get up in the morning, and I'll go to my shower. I'm like, where did this come from? Because like I remember
Like something on yourself, or like
No, like-
something in
like-
the shower.
no, like my gut.
Okay.
Because like Terry would say, to me, "You usually have a six pack. You know that?" I'm like, when did I ever have a six pack? I don't remember that.
You did. You posted a picture on Facebook or something the other day that was of you and a couple of your friends from
Oh, yeah.
high school.
That
And I
was
was
actually 2003, 2002.
Was that college years?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Okay, all right. But that was like, I looked at it and I'm like, I remember that you, but
Mhm.
I don't. But I was looking. That's another thing is I was looking through. We have pictures everywhere in our house. Like
Mhm.
like Sarah is obsessed with pictures. She has to have them everywhere. You can't turn your head without looking at a picture. So I wake up in the morning every morning, and I've become oblivious to my world. Like I go through
you know why,
my
don't
steps.
you?
Why I'm oblivious to
No,
it? Or
why
she
there's so many
pictures?
photos?
Because she's a nut job.
In case she gets amnesia or she loses her mind, she'll see all the pictures with you and the kids and realize, oh, we're together.
If she ever had amnesia and I was the one that came up and I was like, I'm your husband, she'd look at herself and look at me and go, there's no way possible. I
But
could
the
not have
photos,
been that.
but all the photos will tell her otherwise.
She
It's like
am I
because-
foreign? Did you have to? Is this
Did
one
you?
of those?
Okay.
Is this for a green card?
So here's the question.
Why am I with you?
Let me see. I'm gonna look up a movie.
All right.
And I'm gonna ask you if you and Sarah were together before this year. I think
Okay.
I know the answer.
This is like a game show. I like this. But I get out of bed, and the first thing I see is I get out when I grab my glasses. I keep my glasses on my dresser, so that, and my phone usually up there too, so that I actually have to get out of bed and turn off the alarm so that I'm out of bed. Because once I'm up, if I can snooze it, if it's next to my bed, I'm not ever getting out of bed. But we have pictures on top of our the dresser that are wedding pictures.
Mhm.
And I forgot they were there. Like the last time I remember looking at them was probably the day that we moved in and she put them up there.
Mhm.
But I was looking, so for some reason they kind of caught my eye yesterday or the day before. And I'm like, holy crap, I had a full head of hair. And then I'm like looking at all these, because there's a bunch of the pictures and the one's like actually a book. And I start flipping through and I'm like, I don't think that I'm in bad shape. But then I look at these pictures from 10, 15 years ago,
Mhm.
and I'm like, holy crap! I dropped the ball a lot.
Yeah. Well, there's one time. I remember one time there's some guys from college. I met up with them a few years later, and the one goes, "You gained a lot of weight." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, screw you, man. Clearly, you weren't a good friend.
He
in
was
college,
he
so
was a big
eat it.
guy. You don't say screw this dude. But like the thing, I like the fact that most of my friends are comfortable with actually telling the honest truth. So that's one thing I appreciate. Because my friends know that I'm gonna do the same thing. So
There's a way to handle it though. You don't
Yeah.
say, "Hey man, you got fat." What you say is, "Dude, you used to be a lot skinnier." That's less offensive.
Yeah.
You used to be skinny because I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was skinny. I wasn't always this gorgeous creature I am today.
so that's the
I
question.
had to grow into my body."
So that's the question. 2004.
Okay.
Were you and Sarah together?
Yes.
Married?
Married in 2004. That's
Okay.
the year we got married.
The movie I'm talking about is 50 First Dates.
I remember that with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, she had she
Yes,
couldn't make
you're right.
short-term memory and long-term memory. So every morning she had a videotape she'd watch to tell her about herself. So she didn't freak out when she saw her husband.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe Sarah saw that and she had a...
That's where she came up with the idea of putting all these pictures up of well, they're not all of us. They're mostly all of the kids. So, but yeah, I don't think there's like one picture of us in the living room.
No, there's one in the kitchen. It's a Christmas photo.
That's gone. That's down.
Okay.
Those ones went away. But there's the only one left downstairs there was one from our wedding. It's not even like a real picture. It's this what do you call it? Where you take all the tiny pictures and you put them together to make one big picture kind
Yeah.
of thing. I made that, or didn't make it, but I had it designed
Yeah.
for one of our anniversaries or something. and I gave it to her, and that's like the only picture. And the picture isn't even of us; it's like the back of my head and her. Like that's the whole picture, and that's like the only one that if you walk into my house, that's the only one you can see, except for the one that used to be on in our kitchen, that was like from 5 Christmases ago, and I hate that picture because we went in to go get our pictures done, and they're like they come in and. They're just like, okay, you sit here, you turn this way. And they've got me in this really weird, awkward spin around pose with my head back.
I hate those. That's why I hate dealing with photographers.
I'm like, I feel very natural. Go ahead. And she's like, click, 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 click. And I'm like, I blinked one time and missed all the pictures. And she's like, okay, let's move on to the next one. And I was like, what did we do? Why did we pay for this? But yeah, I hate those pictures. But those actually came down. But there's pictures in our bedroom of us, a couple of them, just a few of them, so that we can stare at ourselves while we sleep. I suppose it freaks me out a little bit because I don't like looking at me, kind of thing. But yeah, like, looking back at those pictures, though, man, it's like it's wild how much I've changed. Like I used to be gorgeous. So,
Well,
thank you for agreeing that. You just blindly agreed that you think I'm gorgeous.
Well, you know,
such a flatterer.
Well, as you know, I don't sugarcoat. So
No, that's not your strong point. That's not a quality you have.
no. But I remember I used to joke, and when Tara first started dating, I'd always joke, I'm like, I need to get in shape. I'm gonna do the Vin Diesel diet, because like Pitch Black was one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
And when he's running around with the goggles,
Yeah.
and then the tank top, I'm like, that's what I want to do.
How'd that go for you?
Well, not too good. For the audio listeners, I just patted my gut.
I think they got that one.
But yeah, I do want to get back in shape. I used to mountain bike with some friends, but they didn't really teach me the technical things, such as jumping over logs and stuff. I kind of got it, but not really.
Only so many skin days before you give up that hobby.
Oh, if you look at my legs, I got these gashes. It looked like I was attacked with some kind of torture device from the bike pedals.
See, my problem is a little bit the exercise, but I exercise pretty well. I frequently get out. I go for runs. I do all that stuff. My problem is more the eating. I eat horribly.
Well, there's the thing. Just do more exercise.
But and I do when I can. I try to stay active.
See, my problem is I'm not as active as I used to be, and my goal now, because I'm got in the drones, I finally got some stuff I can fly. I'm getting into the micro drones, so you can fly them pretty much anywhere. My goal is to take my bike, throw it in my car, and then go find some bike path, bike someplace, and then find some place cool to like record, and like best of both worlds. I get to go do some mountain biking, and I get to fly my drone.
Yeah.
So like I don't like gyms. I call it the gerbil mentality. You go in, use an extra device, you sit there for half hour, 40 minutes. You go nowhere.
Yeah.
You do nothing.
I used to go to the gym. I belonged to a gym, and I used to go, and I always had trouble getting motivated because I started going to the gym too late in life. So for me, I went in, and I was like the moron who had no idea how anything worked. I'm going around trying to use it. I'm on the equipment wrong. I'm walking up and
Let's
down.
try to get a trainer.
So well, I started going. I have a couple buddies who do work out. So me and my buddy Spooner, we go one day. Now Spooner's got arms the size of your thighs. Like he lifts. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do. He's a monstrous guy.
For the audience,
shorter dude, but
for the audience, I just grabbed my thigh, looking how big it was, and going, "Wow, that's a big arm."
We do need some video again because we're we're closed captioned. What's it called? Whatever you
Descriptive.
Yeah, we have this. Anyways, so we go to the gym, and so we walk in, and I'm like, so I'm gonna work. I'm gonna lift with my buddy Spooner, and so Spooner goes, okay, grab us a bench before somebody comes over and nabs him up because there was one bench open. So I go over, I'm sitting on the bench, just sitting there by myself, everybody else working out around me. And so he comes back over and he has these 50-pound weights. And so he sets them down beside the bench. And I'm looking at them going, those look big. He turns around and he starts walking back. I'm like, oh, cool. He's getting weights for me. And he comes back with 75-pound weights and he sets them down. So I'm looking at these weights and I'm like, are we going to, like, can I have weights also? Or are these, you don't expect me to lift those? And he's like, okay, well, go get whatever you think you can lift. So I walk over and I'm like looking at the weights, and the weights I'm grabbing don't even have numbers on them. They're color coded. I'm grabbing the pink ones and the blue ones, and so I end up getting like I think like a 20 pound and like the pinks or something. So I come over, I set them down. All right, so he's showing me we're gonna do this curl set. First you do the biceps, and then you do eight curls on your biceps, and then you lay down and you do these butterfly things, and then you go back up eight, and 8. And I'm like, okay, all right, I can handle this. So he goes first. He's going to show me how it's done. So he picks up his 50 pounds and he starts bum, 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 and he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then he throws them down and he grabs the other weights and he lays down on the bench and he's like doing the butterfly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he sets them down and he grabs the other ones and he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he puts them down and he goes, okay, you got it. I'm like, all right, cool. So I grab my tiny little weights and I lay down. No, first I go to the curl and I'm like 1, 2, and he's over there like lifting my hands up for me, like he's spotting me on the curls. He's helping me curl up, and then I lay down on the bench and I'm doing the butterfly and I'm like, and I'm purple, I can't breathe. So we set him down. This goes on for like the next 45 minutes. He just embarrasses me, and and of course every time I went to the gym, there's always like the one dude beside me who's like 300 pounds of rock hard solid muscle. He's like the guy who eats Marines for breakfast, and he's over there. He's not even curling weights. He's curling the rack that the weights sit on. And then on the other side of me, always, there's like the one chick who's lifting heavier weights than I am, making me really look like a big old pansy. Yeah. She's over there. I've got 20-pound weights I'm curling. She's over there lifting ones that are like the size of me. And I'm like, okay, I don't belong here. So I don't go to the gym anymore after that. I used to go down and just run on the treadmill with all the other girls.
Well, my one buddy, Eugene, always tells me that I have what's called grandpa muscles. It's not what you think.
I don't even know what I think.
So his theory is, because when you look at me, I don't look like I'm built or I have any muscle. But when the chips are down or I got to do something, I just go and do it. Like, because my dad used to build railroad tie walls.
Okay.
So we used to get railroad ties from people. Railroad ties are a good 150, 200 pounds.
They're heavy.
So if you got to snatch them around, you got to have some strength. So, like, I can work. I'm just not good at doing exercise.
So you have the muscle, but even if it doesn't show.
Yeah.
And that's grandpa muscles?
That's what he said.
Not my grandpa. My grandpa is like, carry this milk in for me. Like,
yeah, because I never heard it before, and I could never find him. Like, it's got to be slang. Oh, well, whatever.
Right.
But that's the thing, like, it's funny because, like, I know a lot of people when they have muscle, like, they try and show it off, or, like, they try and, like, show how jacked they are. I used to remember I would arm wrestle people, I'm like, I can take him. And then it's like, bam! What just happened?
a guy I work with, he's a shorter guy, and he's a huskier guy. And to look at him, you would never think like he could. So we decide one day, he starts talking about how he can beat everybody at arm wrestling. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of us standing around, and we're like, and there's like, I'm not the biggest dude. There's another guy I work with, this dude Cliff. He is a little taller than me, I think, and twice as wide, and he lifts, he works out, he's just this monster of a man. So I'm like, there's no way. Like I don't think you could beat me. So first, the one kid goes up, he arm wrestles. The guy I work with, Matt. Arm wrestles, Matt puts him down. Okay, fine, everybody expected that. Next dude comes up, boom, puts him down. So then I come up, and I'm like, I'm all arrogant, and I'm cocky, and I'm like, I got this one. So we line up, we're hand to hand, and 1, 2, 3, go. And before I even know it, we arm wrestled, and I think I almost fell over. Like, he put me down before we said go. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's no way. So then he lets me go again, and I get that crook to my arm, that secret, that over the top thing where you turn your hat around backwards, mm-hmm. like Sylvester Stallone, and it immediately puts me right back down again. So then Clifford steps up. Now Clifford's twice my size. He's a monster of a guy, just muscle on top of muscle, and he lines up, and I'm like, now you're going down, punk. Like, I couldn't do it. Like he's my hired heavy or something. Like I didn't have anything to do with that. I didn't bring the guy in. He just happens to work. So line up, and again, the littler guy, Matt, just boom, puts and then so this is like 4 in a row. It wasn't like he did this and then we went away and had lunch. Like we didn't stop for a snack or something in between. He didn't eat a protein bar. Like we just out of nowhere decided that we're gonna do this arm wrestle, and he just knocked everybody out. So now he's already gone through 4 of us. Most of us we wrestled twice. So now this other dude comes in from the sales floor, comes back, and he watches us go through yet another round with him, and one after another, he's just putting everybody down, boom, 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 boom. And we're like, you've got to be tired by now. Like you've just been straight arm wrestling 4 guys 3 or 4 times each. So the other dude comes in and he's all fresh and ready to go. And again, they line up and Matt just pops them right down. We're like, okay, you know what? We give up. We don't know what you're doing. Obviously, there's some sort of steroids or something going on here. You had maybe that Michael Phelps thing going on where you smoke some pot and now you can go ahead and put everybody. But he just knocked everybody out. But you would never know to look at him, the strength he has. But that amazes me. There's different kinds of strength that people have. Like I used to deliver furniture, and a lot of guys you get these guys that would come in, and they would just be like these big monster hulking looking dudes, and couldn't carry furniture for a day straight. Like they would just be worn out and go, "This is just not the right job for me." And then you get these little scrawny, tiny dudes that could do it all day, every day. It's just a completely different set of muscles.
Like one thing I remember growing up, like a lot of people when they do work, they get sore right after it happens. Me, I get sore like 2 or 3 days later. So like
I get sore before it happens.
So like,
Somebody goes, "Can you move this?" And I go, "Oh, my hip, my back, my knee."
So I used to help my dad like do stuff around the house and whatever. And like he'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sore, I gotta go sit down." I'm like, "Whatever." Then 2 or 3 days, I'm like, "Why does my shoulder hurt?" And I think back, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I carried like 10 things of shingles up the roof on the ladder of my left arm."
I get sore sometimes and I haven't even done anything. I'm at that age now where like I just wake up, I'll literally do nothing for a week straight, and I'll wake up one day and just feel like, am I fighting crime in my sleep?
Well,
Has the government issued me some sort of like...
That happened to me like when I was working in the recycling company. This arm, because I sleep, I move along when I sleep.
You don't want to narrate which arm to the audience?
Oh, so my right arm. So I'd be laying there and I'd wake up and I'd get up. I gotta move, and like the second my arm moved, like this pain shot up and down my arm. Like, you got shot, or you lost an arm. You're bleeding out. You're in pain. What's wrong? I'm like, my arm's still here. Why does it feel like I'm dying? This went on for like 2 weeks. I'd wake up, and if I moved too fast, my arm would like be in so much pain. I'm like, I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. Like, I've done nothing. What's going on? And I'm like, I should go to the doctor. I'm like, no.
The doctor's like, you're just old. You're just falling apart. You go, I hurt, and he goes, uh-huh. It's just to be expected at that age.
But I also remember, like whenever, like I do stuff with my dad, like, he'd get tired, and he's like, I'm done for the day. I mean, like, I take a 5-minute break, I'm like, good to go, let's go again.
Yeah, you learn quick, you don't get to jump back into it like that.
Yeah.
That's how you mess yourself up.
My dad, he's 84 this year. And
that's 84, wow.
Yeah, and he's been retired since the year 2000. So, he's an opera engineer, all this other stuff. Like, he's always active. He's never sat down. My dad will like to go, well, I'm putting siding on the house today. I'm like, you should take it easy. Oh, I got it. He'll work 4 days straight, get it done, and then he'll be laid up for a week. I can't move. I don't know why. I'm like, because you're 77 years old at this point. You can't keep working like that. So my mom would just stop.
Oh, yes, he can.
No, so my mom would just stop telling him not to do stuff, and he'll work for X number of days, and he'll be let up for X times 2, 3 days. I'm like, yep, your body just basically just sit down.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yep.
I gotta start eating healthier though, for sure.
Yeah.
Like my idea of eating healthy, I convince myself, I trick myself into thinking I'm eating healthy. I'm like, I'm gonna have vegetables today. Jalapeno poppers are not a vegetable. Like you can turn that any which way you want. It's not a vegetable. I'm like, putting lettuce on top of a cheeseburger is not a vegetable. That is not eating healthy.
So, I tend to eat a lot of garbage while I work, and occasionally I stress eat. So I used to eat a lot of potato chips, to the point that when Christmas came around, my boss bought me some gourmet potato chips, because she said she could always hear me chomping on potato chips. So I'm thinking, wow, I really eat that much at work? So, like, I stopped. So, I've been trying to cut down.
They secretly call you Potato Chip Man when you're not around.
So, I've been, like, trying to figure out what to do to, like, not eat as much garbage. So, I have this thing called the Whirly Pop. It's make air pop popcorn. I'm like, so I looked at popcorn. I'm like, well, if I just eat popcorn and nothing on it, it's basically just fiber and calories, and it's not gonna like kill me if I eat like, well, anything will kill you if you eat too much of it. But I'm pretty sure by the time I eat that much, I'm gonna have time to get home. So I've been eating popcorn at work, and I have those takeout, the round Chinese containers.
Yes.
So I have a bunch of those because I save them for lunch. So I've got like 7 of them I take to work with me. And any on a given day, I'll eat 1 to 4 things of popcorn instead of eating all the other garbage. I know it's not helping, but it makes me feel better.
My older brother was convinced that he was healthier. He's living a healthier lifestyle because he started putting ice in his Mountain Dew. That's it. Not I'm drinking less Mountain Dew, not I've cut out Mountain Dew. I put ice in my Mountain Dew. I'm like, drinking Mountain Dew cold is not a health decision. He's like, well, the ice melts and becomes water. He's convinced himself that he is now a healthier person because what you're putting ice in your Mountain Dew. That's the equivalent of what? Half a glass of 4 ounces of water.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna negate all of the garbage and filth and crap you put inside your body on a day's time.
There's a book I read. I think it's a 4-hour chef or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Tim Ferriss book. It basically tells you about the different. No, wait. It's one of these 4-hour books. But basically,
what is a 4-hour book? Is that like just a shorter book?
No, like he has a book of the 4-hour work week that teaches you how to do freelance work to make residual income, so that you can actually like get to the point where that's all you do. It's one of those books where it could work if you work at it, but it's not for everybody. It's interesting concepts that can help you do better with stuff. I think it's like the 4-hour workout, maybe. I'll have to look it up now that I'm struggling. But anyway, this book basically was like, no, don't want Siri. Basically, this book was teaching about how like ways to work out that were more efficient. Like he's one of those guys that like researches stuff. Like he's like kept logs of all his workouts and random crap. So I like the way he writes his books. 4-Hour Body, that's what it's called. And the one thing he talks about is using a kettlebell for like weight for toning and whatnot. He talks about different diets. Now there's this triangle where you can take like supplements that will help you burn fat. You can exercise, or you can eat well. And basically, they claim it's a triangle, but you can get away doing 2 if you offload the other 2.
He's giving you a cheat sheet to health.
Yeah, basically.
Cheat sheet to wellness.
So basically, like, and he tells about these different diets that you can use. But like, basically, his theory is just work out more and like watch you eat more, and you don't really have to worry about using the supplements and whatnot as much. I'm probably butchering the book, but the point is, like, I read this book and I'm like, oh,
That's a pretty good synopsis.
Yeah.
At my point, any workout at all is better than like I have this mentality. I trick myself into thinking that I need some sort of like guideline to work out. Like I need Billy Blanks to show up and tell me how to do a workout.
You know who we need?
Who do we need?
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, our friend Aaron is actually, he's not only just good with workout, he's also, he's got nutrition down to, I mean, legitimately down to a science.
Mm-hmm.
A good friend of ours who does, we've had Aaron on the show a couple of times, so anybody who watches the show is familiar with Aaron. But he really does have this, like, this great mentality of how to eat and how to work out and how to take great care of himself. And he lost a ton of weight, and a lot of it was he did have a gastric bypass surgery. And
But the food, with the food stuff, though.
Well, he took care of himself. He not just, I mean, like, he had to have that surgery because he was at the point where if he didn't, things were going to get bad.
Yeah.
Real bad, real quick. Because he wasn't big. He was big.
Yeah.
Aaron was, like, so big that you could hear it across the phone big.
Mm-hmm.
And, but he made that life decision. It changed him entirely. He's a whole different person now. He's half the person, but at the same time he's twice the person because it evolved and really made a massively different, better lifestyle for himself. And I think I've said this before too, where him and I were talking about, because I know a bit about nutrition. I've taken classes and such on it, and him and I started talking about it one time. And I was like, oh yeah, I got this. I know, like, I don't know squat about nutrition. He is like a mathematical genius with it. He even has it broke down to, and I would love to sit down and just pick his brain sometime, but he's too much. Like he's got it to a point where I'm intimidated to even start with talking. To
See,
him
I'm
about
not. I'm in the mentality. I like learning things. I like figuring things out. So like, one of the reasons I was good at my job is when I was doing help desk and doing a lot of problem solving. Figure out this program, you figure it out. I would dive into that program and learn everything I could about it, find every guide I could, and like basically learning the lingo is the first part, and then once you learn the lingo, you know what you can ask, and you can learn what you need, and like I've jumped into so many different things, like I call myself a journalist because I've learned a lot of random stuff. I'm not the master of anything. I just know a lot of different stuff. So I feel like I could actually, once I learn the wording and how things work, I can actually. Not saying I can keep up.
Jack of all trades,
Yeah.
master of none.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm easily psyched out a lot of times too. Though
See,
you
I'm
tell
not.
me,
My mentality is why? Why can't I do this? Like, what's stopping me? Because I feel like another reason I was good at my previous jobs, I didn't think the same way as everybody else did. So when we had a problem, well, we can't do this because of that. My brain would be like, well, how is this similar to this other problem? How do we solve that problem? How
Right.
can I make that work with this?
Yeah, how do we know Einstein was actually a genius? How do we know that he wasn't just like, I've got this and nobody else can figure it out? This is way above your pay grade.
Yeah.
I'd explain it, but you would never be able to understand it. And people
And
just went,
and I'd be
okay."
like, try me, Einstein, what up?
No,
Come at me, bro.
I'm like, hey, if Einstein can't do it, what are the odds of me figuring it out? Nope. I had pie for breakfast. I don't think that I'm figuring out squat.
Hey, if you stay at Ohio Johnson, anything's possible.
I actually did have pie for breakfast. Well, not pie. I made a blueberry cobbler for breakfast today.
Nice.
It was really good too.
I went to Dunkin' Donuts because during the weekends I cheat and I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'll get some munchkins.
Yeah, I cheat on my diet on the weekends too, and then sometimes during the weekdays, like 4 or 5 days.
I don't see.
Weekdays.
I have it's like a Harvest Valley bar for breakfast,
Okay.
and like around the beginning of the year I decided to stop drinking water. I only drink basically water now. So like once a week or every other week I'll get like a ginger ale or lemonade or something. But mainly I switched to drinking water, and I've been trying to work on cutting down on sugar, but I'm a sugar addict.
Yeah.
That's me slapping my veins, wanting another candy bar or donut or whatever.
I like that you liken candy bars to heroin.
Well, here's the thing. Sugar is technically a drug for your body. Like, there's been studies, if you stop eating sugar, like, a lot of things change in your body.
Yeah, no. All right, Dr. Atkins, we need to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
So, thanks for joining us again, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and
The website.
the website.
I'm
Absolutely.
going to cheat. Everything is Stream of Consciousness Podcast on Facebook, Twitter. Our website is streamofconsciousness.podcast.com. And that's all the things we got.
All right. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Have a good night, day, afternoon, evening, whatever. I'm rambling. I'm going to shut up now.